Welcome back to Actionable Intelligence. I'm Eric Greitens. And folks, as you know, there's a saying we use in the military called the ground truth. To put it simply, when you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, you got to go to the source and you got to talk with the men and women who are fighting and working on the front lines. In today's field report, we're really excited to be talking with two-time UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir. Frank holds the record for the most finishes and the most submissions in UFC history. He also holds the longest uninterrupted tenure of any fighter in UFC history, competing from 2001 to 2016. And most exciting right now is that his daughter, Bella Mir, is about to make her professional mixed martial arts debut. Here to talk with us about his career, about our country, passing his legacy on to his daughter, Frank Mir. Frank, welcome to the show.
Glad. Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Hey, so Frank, first I got to tell you that Actionable Intelligence viewers are Frank Mir fans. We got a ton of questions about footwork and submissions. I'm not going to ask you to do any coaching on TV, but I do, share with us, your daughter now is following in your footsteps. She's making her MMA debut. What's this like for you as a dad?
Well, as a father, obviously, it's nerve-wracking. Anytime your child goes out there and competes, especially in something that's physical, inherently brings some, a fear with it. But she's doing something she loves. Yeah. I train martial arts because the kind of mindset and the character that it builds in you. But being a professional martial artist, I always tell people it's like you can love music and learn how to play and all the things that come with understanding instruments. But it doesn't mean you're going to, leave everything to become a professional musician. It's far and few between people that make money and have a sustainable career doing that. And that's one thing I've always tried to steer my daughter away from being a professional fighter. But it's something she loves and wants to do, so I support her fully. And just as any father, I want to help her, fulfill her dreams.
Awesome, man. And one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize about MMA, about boxers, about professional fighters is that they see one person in there fighting, but it's a team sport, it's a team effort. It takes a whole team of people to come together for one fighter to step into the ring. What's it been like for you, instead of being the man who's actually in the arena, in the ring, to actually be on the team, helping your daughter to get ready?
It's funny that you asked that, because people keep thinking, people that are close to me have asked, like, well, you've done this for 20 years as a professional. It's an old hat. You're used to it. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I've been driving a car for 20 years, right, and now I'm in the passenger seat. I have no control. All I can do is coach, give advice, say turn left, turn right, brake, but I don't have control of the steering wheel or the pedals. And so, my wife is actually probably handling it better than I am when we go behind closed doors, when I don't let Bella see. But she's used to that, seeing a loved one in there competing, and knows her role very well in the support. It's new to me. This is the first time, I've cornered people before, and I've been a coach. Yeah. This is the time that I've actually been in this situation where, I have a significant other that's showing up and I'm supporting.
Awesome. Hey, and one of the things that I think people love about you, Frank, is that you've always not only been like an incredibly determined, skilled, courageous fighter in the ring, but you've also been kind of a guy who reflects on the sport and what it means, right? There's a lot of people in the country right now who are going through difficult times. It's a hard time for a lot of people in the country. They're facing challenges that they haven't faced before. You obviously have faced some incredible challenges. You've faced some physical challenges. You've fought through some incredible comebacks. You've fought through a lot of hardship. What's your advice right now to your fellow Americans who might be having a hard time? Any advice based on your career about how you make it through those really difficult times?
Like anything, when you face adversity, it's information of knowing what you have to deal with and breaking it down. When a situation occurs, there's a fighter in front of you, you can immediately respond with fear. The emotions kick in. But to me, it's break down and really think through what's going on. What is my next step? Don't look at the big picture. Look at the next step you have to get through, as far as, all right, well, this is what he's dangerous with, this is what I'm dangerous with. What are intelligent ways for me to accentuate my strengths? What can I do to mitigate my weaknesses and capitalize on his weaknesses? And if you break and talk things down, I think it demystifies things. Because let's face it, all humans were afraid of the unknown. I mean, even full-grown adults, you put them in the woods in the middle of the dark, be a little nerve-wracking, right? Because it's the unknown, the ocean, unknown. But if you bring light to the situation, I think it subdues fear, And so that's what I do with all situations. Whenever someone goes, hey, this person said this, and I don't like what they said, I'm like, well, hold on, let's break it down and look at the fact, what they're actually doing. And we always say, judge people by their actions, not by their words. And it's funny, we really have a culture right now in the U.S. only judges people off of anything dumb that they've said 5 years ago on an Instagram.
Right.
But I'm like, but what have they done for our society? What are they doing to enrich your life? Take away from it. If they're saying great things, but they're hurting your life, they're not a good person. If you don't like their personality, all of a sudden it's like, hey, but is your life better? Are you having a better life because of the economy or through different trade deals that have been produced? Then guess what? I'm for it,
Yeah, cool, man. And one of the things that I think that is true for you, it's true for everybody who's a fighter in some ways, that you have to focus on actions, you have to focus on results, and you got to go in, you got to take a hard look at yourself, the team, at the results every single day. One of the things that you touched on that I think is so important, Frank, is about how people deal with fear, right? And you touched on a couple of the strategies that you use. What have been some of the advice that you've given to your daughter about how to deal with fear? I mean, no matter how well trained you are, no matter how set you are, no matter how ready you are, you're walking into that ring, you're going to feel fear. What kind of coaching have you given her about those moments of fear right before she steps into the ring?
Well, I think the thing that a lot of people really feel is that I shouldn't be afraid, right? That there's something I can do to avoid fear. I'm like, well, no, you're going to feel fear. And if you don't feel fear, it's actually kind of scary. And that could be a problem within itself. But it's how you react to that fear. And so, again, like right now, things I'm telling my daughter for tonight, like, hey, if this was a sparring match and there wasn't a crowd of people here, there's no cameras, what would you do? What would you be feeling? What would be happening? And break down the different techniques. And that brings light to it. It brings familiarity to it. And once you understand something, it helps lessen the fear. It's always, again, and I keep going back to like a broken record, but it is the fear of the unknown. And because martial artists, we have to be fact.
Yes. Well, Frank, it sounds like we're gonna have to leave it there. But I want to tell you, man, good luck to you. Good luck to Bella. Honored to have you on with us tonight. And next, we're going to have up Dave Grossman. Dave Grossman is the premier police trainer in the country. Had a fantastic conversation with us. You're going to want to stay with us for it. And remember, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, tune in for our Real America's Voice debate coverage. We're going to bring a fantastic team. We're going to be breaking down what you're likely to see at the debate, and we'll have every minute of the debate with us tonight.